I'm so happy to be an international criminal. You know why? Because Nelson Mandela was an international criminal. That's what they declared him, for fighting for the freedom of our people. And if it means I'm joining in the ranks of Nelson Mandela by being declared an international criminal for fighting for the rights of my people, I'm a proud international criminal.
Politicians often operate behind a veil of secrecy, pushing agendas that serve their interests rather than the public good. It's time to connect the dots and expose these hidden motives. Take, for instance, the recent legislation that seems beneficial on the surface but actually funnels resources into the pockets of their donors. We need to ask ourselves, who truly benefits from these decisions? The public deserves transparency, yet many remain oblivious to the games being played. Let's peel back the layers and reveal the truth. It's not just about policy. It's about power, influence, and the manipulation of trust. Stay vigilant, because understanding these dynamics is crucial for holding them accountable. Now, let's dive deeper into the latest developments that will help you see the bigger picture. Now that we've exposed the intricate web of relationships shaping South Africa's future, Johan will take us through the lies and deceit that have been hiding in plain sight.
And we must ensure that every single South African feels safe in their homes and at their place of work. And that includes our farmers and farm workers. The dismantling of the rural safety units was a catastrophic mistake, and it opened the door to a collapse of rural policing and the targeting of our farmers and farm workers of all races by violent criminals and syndicates. Just this weekend, I was in Tabanchu, in Vicksburg, and other parts of the Free State, with commercial farmers and small-scale black farmers, to listen to their heartbreaking stories about how they fear for their families' lives, and they are preyed upon almost monthly by syndicates of stock thieves who destroy their opportunity to grow their businesses. Cases get opened but are never investigated. They know who is responsible but cannot secure arrests or convictions. This situation cannot go unaddressed. And as a result, in my capacity as Minister of Agriculture, I'm announcing that we're going to work with the sector to design a comprehensive plan to combat farm murders, stock theft, and improve rural safety. I look forward to collaborating with the Minister of Police and the entire Justice and Security cluster to bring an end to the scourge once and for all.
What I found quite interesting, you've actually put forward the idea that it is time that we compromise and let go of broad-based black economic empowerment. Why is the time now?
Well, I have always opposed black economic empowerment, because what black economic empowerment says, which is not the written one, is the small print. The small print is saying black people are inferior. They cannot set up their own companies. They must be junior partners to white-owned companies, and they must just sit there and get dividends for owning 26%, which they didn't pay for. So it is the underwriting, the underlying message of black economic empowerment is that black people are inferior. I am opposed to that notion.
What then do we do about the need to address the past? I mean, it's a reality. When you look at inequality in this country, when you look at the unemployment numbers, those numbers primarily are the black South Africans for the most part of it. And there is still the argument that in this 30 years of our democracy, we haven't addressed inequality. We haven't addressed access to opportunity for vulnerable black people to bring them up to par with their white counterparts. How do we do that in a new dispensation?
Well, you can't address the past. The past is the past. If you try to address the past, as they say, you are driving with looking through the rear view mirror, and then you're going to crash against something. We have to address the future. We have to build a future of South Africa, not to build a past. You can't build a past. So we have to sort out how do we build the past and the future of South Africa. First, black South Africans are 90% of the population. So they have to be the primary builders of the future of the country. They are the majority, the big majority of the country. The African colored Indians are 90% or 92% now of the population. So the future of South Africa depends on them building, not receiving free rides from 8% of the population, which are the white population. If they are going to be fed by 8%, then this country has absolutely no future. This 92% has to get down and build the country. By building the country, it means they have to set up new companies, they have to start new industries, they have to build new mines. They have to build it, not as guys sitting with 26% of a white-owned company. They have to build their own mine themselves. That's how you're going to build the future of South Africa.
Welcome to our channel, where facts matter. Today, we're exposing the intricate web of relationships shaping South Africa's future. Meet Patrice Motsepe, the billionaire who funds the EFF, and just so happens to be Cyril Ramaphosa's brother-in-law and Johan Rupert's business partner. Cyril Ramaphosa's ties to the wealthy elite run deep. He was recruited to the Urban Foundation by Anton Rupert and Harry Oppenheimer, the same family that's the largest donor to the DA. And then there's Martin Kingston, Cyril Ramaphosa's policy advisor, who just so happens to work for Rothschilds. This raises serious questions about the influence of global financial powers on South African politics. Johan Rupert's connection to David Rockefeller, a key figure in the Rothschilds network, highlights the complex relationships between global elites and South African leaders. When President Trump criticized South Africa's Expropriation Act, Julius Malema rushed to Cyril Ramaphosa's defense. But what's really going on here? Patrice Motsepe funds not just the EFF, but also the DA, Freedom Front Plus, and ANC. This raises concerns about the influence of wealthy donors on South African politics. Over 10,000 white South African farmers have applied for U.S. citizenship after President Trump signed an executive order prioritizing their resettlement. What does this mean for South Africa's future? Now, let's explore the Q movement and its connection to the global reset. Ricardo Bossi explains the Q military operation and the Anons. Gasara's history and timeline reveal a complex plan to reset the global financial system. Project Odin and My Bond payouts are part of a larger plan to free humanity from financial slavery. The Q movement is linked to the Starlink satellite system, which will activate all mobile phones globally and provide a new era of communication and connectivity. The simultaneous mass arrests of over 700,000 individuals, including global political elites, film stars, and other influential figures, would be a spectacle unlike any other. A predicted black swan stock market crash could send shockwaves across the world and potentially lead to a global currency transition affecting 209 countries. A staged WW3 nuclear attack could trigger a DEFCON 1 alert, leading to a global state of emergency. The Brics nations are reportedly planning to launch a new global currency, which could potentially rival the US dollar. This new currency is part of a larger plan to reset the global financial system, free humanity from financial slavery, and promote greater global economic cooperation and development. The Q movement is linked to this global reset, and its followers believe that a new era of peace and prosperity is on the horizon. The Starlink satellite system will play a key role in this global reset, activating all mobile phones globally and providing a new era of communication and connectivity. Global martial law is said to involve a communication blackout, activation of emergency broadcast systems, and the airing of an 8-hour documentary exposing global fraud and corruption. And that's the unsettling truth. The connections are real, and the implications are profound. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and stay free.